Welcome to Cut the COVID Crap Part 46. Lower birth rates are due to, wait for it, global warming. Not sure if this is very readable, the t-shirt. It appears to be mutating into a totalitarian dictatorship. Okay, I couldn't believe when I saw the headlines of the lower birth rates um, caused by global warming. Uh, it's made me laugh. The crap that people get away with, and it's a interesting piece of misinformation as long as it fits the narrative. Misinformation is allowed, of course. Anyway, want to make sure I address my last video of Nauru because I put it in last week's or got to go for number 45's comment section as well. Nauru has been highly vaccinated for more than a year already. So it was misleading that I said or that I asked the question: is vaccination causing COVID-19? Is it a side effect? Um, there's no evidence for that. I mean, only in the last 2 weeks it started to get cases. So cases were imported and then it spread like wildfire. So I cannot blame COVID-19 for the creating and the spontaneous infections. However, what I still stand by is that it's a fact. In the last 2 weeks, Nauru has gone from less than 1% of the population contracting COVID to it's almost 30% by now. 30% of the whole population in within 2 weeks, um, and the population is more than 99% vaccinated. The whole population. So just wanted to address that quickly. Um, so the subject of the week: lower birth rates due to what? I put the link below as usual, the Substack link. It shows a couple of countries. I'll go through them from top to bottom, with emphasis on the first few. Germany, the top one, Germany, that shows the monthly birth rates for the past 6 years, and that's there you see the seasonality. I mean, it's I guess people tend to copulate in the winter months because it's in there's a peak in from July to September. In general, you see that every year basically. So um, that's normal up to 2021, but in 2022, Jan, Feb, and March, you see a drop of 13% decline. Look at the graph, and you don't need to be a statistician to draw the conclusion that it's significant. Have a look for yourself. It's completely clear. So then United Kingdom, similar table. That table is from the National Health Security Institution of National Health, something like that. They used to produce that every week. Now it's every month. This table goes hand in hand with the um, uh, vaccination rates of the women giving birth. So you see that in January and February 2021, it was not even 1%, and by January and February 22, it was around 60%, and it's been gradually increasing. And you see the birth rate decreasing um, since the summer. Now, um, the seasonality is there. I mean, the fact that it's highest in July, August, September, you look at German data and you see, I guess the Germans and the English people copulate in the same pattern. That seasonality is normal, but the drop off in January and February is significant. If you want to analyze it correctly, it would be better to see the 2020 data split out per month as well, but unfortunately that is not in there. But this is a 7 to 8% decline. Um, these data should update every month. I bet though that the UK is not that NHIS agency is not going to update them anymore because like it's too much feed for anti-vaxxers, right? I mean, you see the vaccination rate of women going up and the rate of giving birth or the absolute numbers of giving birth going down. So there's a clear correlation. Doesn't mean causation, but also these guys have had a history of not publishing anymore if the data look too much for interesting feeds for anti-vaxxers. So I mean, just like they don't publish anymore the uh, amongst the COVID deaths how many people are vaccinated or not, which is the vaccinated was around about 90% rate of the adults anyway. Well, there's hardly any there's no youth impact, so 90% of the COVID-19 deaths were vaccinated. And that number has been increasing over time, and at some point it started to not publish it anymore. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, that's the UK. Switzerland shows a similar picture than to Germany. Same pattern over time. The drop there, is it as significant? Yeah, well, it's definitely significant. By how much doesn't say there, but similar to Germany. And there you see actually the plotted graph of geimpft, that's German for vaccinated. Um, uh, and that's actually similar to the UK data. In January, February 2021, it was hardly anything, and it got up to around about the 75% mark by the end of 2021. So birth rates dropping again. Taiwan, 23% decline in May 22. So that's more recent data, May 2022. I don't see that in a. I try to look for try to Google for more monthly breakdowns and historical breakdowns, but I couldn't find it in Taiwan, unfortunately. Then Sweden 6.6% decline, Netherlands 6.3% decline, and a bit of explanations. So, um, global warming, death rates, sorry, global warming caused decline in birth rates hit Germany, Germany more than the UK apparently. I mean, it's amazing I mean what people get away with like a what's how many degrees has last year been higher than the year before? I'll be surprised if it's more than zero point 0.1 degree, but birth rates dropping in the either 10% area. Um, but of course, when is it enough for you? When do you like? I'm skeptical when I'm being lied to the first time, but like how many lies? If somebody still believes that vaccinations are safe and effective, and how many lies are you willing to take? Um, I'm not saying vaccinations are not good in general, but there is a risk reward for every risk benefit, I should say, for every vaccination, and you shouldn't, even if they're in general safe. Yeah, I mean they have some sort of effect. So yeah, before I would decide as a pregnant woman if I take it, yeah, I would look at the risk benefit, but it's up to yourself, of course. Um, Lastly, in Cut the COVID Web number 43, so that's about 2 weeks ago, I discussed Mattias Desmet, and I put a link in there, a Belgian guy that's big on mass formation, or the like he's a clinical psychologist, professor, big on mass formation. I particularly liked that video, um, because it's interview by the Epoch Times, because it highlights his preference for um, non-violent disobedience, and I think that's new that I saw it from. I've been following him for a while. That's new that I saw him. Like, if you're dissatisfied and you think like the majority of the people believe the narrative, and it's amazing how they get fooled by it. That is mass formation. If you want to do something about it, make sure it's non-violent. Like, violence lead to more violence. Non-violent is the most effective way. Take a example of Gandhi, or to a lesser extent maybe Nelson Mandela. Anyway, that's Mattias Desmet. And as an example of non-violent, this is my chin diaper with the Australia and the Denmark flags. Um, Credits for Denmark again. Right about at the time that the US was um, recommending vaccinations for 6-month-old onwards, Denmark said, you know what, we're not gonna recommend vaccinating children anymore altogether, and they regret having recommended it for 5 to 11 years old. They say at the time it was maybe the right decision, but they definitely changed their minds, and that is, in my view anyway, that's giving them credibility. Like, yes, there was an emergency situation early 2020. You didn't know what you're up for. Yeah, and with more information, you change course. That's completely fine. Um, but yeah, apparently politicians are afraid of that. But like, yeah, um, just like in a relationship, you should admit your mistakes. Yeah, as a politician, you should do that as well. So all the credit to the Danish politicians that at least admit this. And um, yeah, what course the US is going, especially with these lower birth rates. In the next, I guess, in the next month or two, we'll see the birth rates publications for every Western country, and hopefully also some non-Western countries with lower vaccination rates, and that makes the comparison even better. Yeah, then we can really see if uh, if it if the vaccines are a possible explanation, or that we're gonna stick to global warming as the cause of everything, especially Putin's global warming. Yeah. Anyway, um, enjoy taking the piss out of these things, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye bye.